Hi out there, this is Cynthia Howard, and welcome to this episode of Freedom Cast. Today is Monday, January 25th, 2021, and I'm glad you could join me. Today is the 312th day of the New Hampshire lockdown in the Live Free or Die state. We have mask mandates, remote learning, virtual Zoom meetings in the town and school districts. We have people remote working from home. They're working part-time, they're unemployed, or they're underemployed. We have contact tracing continuing, social distancing, and a whole gamut of restrictions. And it seems that they keep the narrative going. There's more cases, and the higher the number of the cases, the restrictions haven't put a dent in those case numbers. And it seems like there's going to be another strain of the virus. So this will all continue. Is it going to always continue forever? It's going to continue as long as you allow it to continue, because government will never stop their control. That's what they do best. And they're trying to usher into a world government, and this is one way of doing it. Put everything on the computer, stay at home, wear a mask, do what we say, and we're trying to keep you safe and healthy, when in reality we're really controlling you. And my question is, why are you wearing a mask? If you're healthy, you shouldn't be wearing a mask. The only people that wear masks are unhealthy people. If you have sniffles, coughing, sneezing, runny noses, then you should be wearing a mask. And if you're running a fever, that's a telltale sign that you're sick. Otherwise, healthy people should not be wearing a mask. And they're doing a very good job of controlling us, so we must put our foot down. And another way that they're infringing on our freedom is with censorship. Censorship is becoming as widespread as these mandates for masks and everything else. And right now, prominent as well as not so prominent conservatives are being censored on mainly platforms of Facebook and Twitter. And I myself have been a casualty of Facebook. Just like President Trump, and just like Ron Paul and Sidney Powell, lawyers for President Trump, Lynn Wood, and Steve Bannon, the strategist for President Trump, as well as the campaign chairman in 2016, have all been banned on Facebook. So I feel it's like a badge of courage that I'm in that category. And this is not about any one person. It's a method of punishment, internet punishment, corporal punishment, whatever you want to call it, to purposely isolate us from our connections, from our family, from our friends. We are being used as setting an example, so others will be more cautious with their words. Yet it is really about what you believe and stand for. You don't have to use profanities or inappropriate language. You just have to trigger them with an opposing point of view. Today it is political speech, but tomorrow it may be a photo you post, a humor story you tell, anything that they deem inappropriate that is violation of a community guideline, and the definition is going to get broader and broader so that they can censor more people. And today is me, tomorrow it may be you, even if you are not political. In my case, I was unaware of any censorship until I was unable to post on Messenger. When a pop-up appeared that stated, "You have violated community standards more than on one occasion," they wouldn't give me the specifics. So I took the liberty of researching some earlier posts that I made, and I found a post in a media site on the election certification in which I received hundreds of replies, both pro and con, of which I made a comment about a dark winter as Biden and his allies stripped the Constitution. Now, a dark winter was referenced by Biden in the debate against President Trump. So just in time for the second impeachment and the inauguration, the Facebook bots zapped me into the internet wilderness to isolate me from my connections. I did some further research on the term dark winter and found something very interesting. It It was a military operation experiment undertaken in June of 2001, 3 months before 9/11. It was about a bioweapons attack of smallpox and the effect and the reactions of the citizenry. And the ending would culminate in riots in the street and a military presence. Does that sound familiar? So what is really going on here with COVID-19 and the lockdowns and the infringements on our freedoms? Was this a plan way back to make this take place at the right time and the right place? And they had planned this for years, apparently, according to this, because it's so in sync with what happened and what took place. Going back to Facebook, when I even view a post now, I receive the following message. You are temporarily restricted from posting or calling. Then something odd happens. Facebook sends me a list of connections. And then they say, do you want to connect with other friends? Now, do they honestly think that I am going to do that? It looks like they want more like-minded individuals, more conservatives, so that they can surveil, invade their privacy, attack, and ultimately censor. In other words, they were using me as a pawn. It seems that there is very little outrage on the censorship, only from conservatives. And I think that most users are afraid to be removed and afraid to speak up. Or if they are an advertiser, they are afraid that it will affect their business. Or even if they are a shareholder, they benefit from the Facebook earnings. The stocks are well over $200 and some odd dollars a share, approximately. If they are lawmakers, they are afraid that they too may be censored. They are afraid of the loss of campaign contributions or the support of the lobbyists. And that rakes in a lot of money. And they don't want to end the money trail, obviously. Many of these lawmakers often say, well, what can we do? They're private companies. They have a right to exist like any other private company. But more than any other private company, they are a monopoly. And more than any other company, they infringe on our personal freedoms. So they are entirely different. So you can't compare them to other companies because there is no comparison. And when you take a look, they're infringing both on our First and our Fourth Amendments. They also have become their own political platform in supporting the left and mainly Democratic candidates. And look at their role in the last election, the presidential election of 2020, when Mark Zuckerberg sent out $300 million to oversee elections through a nonprofit corporation. So they played definitely a role and they are responsible for the outcome, and the outcome obviously is in their favor. It is highly unlikely that lawmakers will ever act to rein in or break up the big tech companies. So your only choice is to find an alternative platform like Gab or Parler, and who knows how long that they can compete, or if they will be compromised. The best remedy is to return to email, the phone, text messaging with your cell phone, or even create your own website. Essentially boycott social media companies, because that's the only way it's going to happen. That's the only way it's going to end. Social media platforms have the upper hand because of their ease and convenience of use. You just push a button to like, to share, or comment, and then go on to the next post. It's almost robotic in nature if you constantly stay on there. Think of all the time that you spend on these platforms when you could be doing something more productive, spending time with your family and friends, and posting your own passions on your own site, like I have done, like I will be doing. So break the shackles and chains on your wrists and fingers that control your keystrokes. Stand your ground, hold the internet line, and regain what is rightfully yours, your free speech, your freedom. You can join me on my site at www.cindyhoward.wordpress.com or email me at cindycool09@yahoo.com, or I'm still on LinkedIn. I'm Cindy Tea Time on Twitter as well. And lo and behold, I will be back on Facebook on February 7th. But mostly my emphasis and what I will be concentrating on will be my website, and I hope you join me on there. All you have to do is log on to my website, cindyhoward.wordpress.com, click on the menu, scroll down to Freedom Newsletter, click that, and click follow, and you will get email updates on my latest postings. Or you can leave a comment in the comment box and I will get back to you. You can also call me at 603-543-1372. And for now, I will leave you with the words of the French philosopher Voltaire. I disapprove of what you say, but I will defend to the death your right to say it.